Another major change in the Indian entertainment industry is the rise of OTT. As Saare Jahan Se Accha starts streaming on Netflix, the cast of the web series Pratik Gandhi and Sunny Hinduja speak to WION Samarpita Das about their experience of being part of a spy drama. Listen in.
Hi, this is Pratik Gandhi.
Hi, this is Sunny Hinduja.
And you are watching us on WION.
WION.
When I was actually, thinking and creating Vishnu in my mind, this is something was very important and interesting for me as an actor. There are so many places where I don't have lines and I'm not supposed to have any words and lines because the character is such. But at the same time, for the audience, I'm supposed to communicate every possible thing. So my whole focus was there, that you make Vishnu extremely dangerous when he's not saying lines. The smallest movement makes a lot of sense. If at a correct point, if I'm able to, move my eyeballs, it says a lot of things.
So when I read a script, I don't see it in a particular way that if this is Indo-Pak or anything else. I see the script as the story, and as the characters, as the role, and the makers who are making it. That is more instrumental than, and how much that story is resonating with me. That is bigger than the particular countries or topic that we are talking about, because acting is, for me, it's beyond countries, religion, art. It is pure acting, which is limitless and boundless. That's what I feel.
Yeah, that's how it works largely for artists, because I understand India, Pakistan, very touchy topic for both the countries, and more for us. We are all, right from our childhood, we have seen every cricket match played between India and Pakistan. The whole country is glued to the television and we just want to cheer for our country. Same with us. We constantly cheer for our country. There is a constant patriotism that is flowing in the blood. Having said that, as an actor, the way I decide on the script is purely on the basis of how it is written. So there's a beautiful line, that we discussed when we were shooting, that the moment a spy has to use a gun, the mission has already been sabotaged, because that's the last step that you do. The whole idea of spies operation and the way they operate and the work is to avoid that, to avoid combats, to avoid getting any limelight. So less reactive and more reflective is the approach of both the characters.
See, I feel physical aspect is one part. Understanding the era, 1970s, is another part. Having to do with the costumes and the reality of the space is one part. But the biggest challenge for us, I would like to add him, was mental and psychological. As he added that you have to process, you have to process more. As he said, information is the weapon. So your all eyes, ears, senses are only onto information. And the decisions that we make are very high stakes, because you have a responsibility of not 1-2 crores of people from your country, your responsibility of the entire nation. So the kind of decisions that we make, it cannot be in haste, it cannot be in anger, it cannot be in any other circumstances.
Those who are actually doing it, I can't imagine how did they do it. That was a very interesting part. It almost like getting into the meditative zone, keeping yourself away from all the gadgets and your thoughts also away from these gadgets. Because the moment today, if you just decide that I want to give this message to somebody, the first thing that happens to your brain and your body is you reach out to your phone. We were talking about the era of the 1970s where the gadgets were not that smart, but people were smart. So we actually had to play it that way, designed all those moves, our reactions also in a way where we can communicate to the audience, that they were smart enough to communicate without gadgets.
Where phone was not called phone, it was called telephone. There were no mobiles. The WhatsApp there was no WhatsApp. You had to go in person. And there was less of technology. Now technology has its own benefits and disadvantages.
Spies are heroes that operate with intelligence. Their successes are never celebrated, and the failures, I guess, the brunt of the failures that the whole world, has to face. So, high stake, high risk, no return job.
I think this show, frankly speaking, is a celebration for all those unsung heroes who have worked so brilliantly, valiantly, courageously, thinking about their country first and keeping their personal and the family interests not even second.
And if you see those episodes, the way they used to communicate to each other and the transferring the information, those simple techniques. So today if you see that actually all those simple techniques and thought process were existing, which can still be used. Unnecessary overusing of technology doesn't make your life easy, it makes it even more complicated.